Alright, Terrace are here with another just quick little analysis of Samsung Blues team fighting. I think this will be the last example I'll probably do of Samsung Blues team fighting for the Samsung Blue versus Samsung White series in the OGN semifinals because I don't know, I've just rewatched this series so many times that I'm kind of sick of it, but I also didn't do the game where Samsung Blue actually lost because I felt like that game was lost at pick and bans, and Samsung Blue had just a really weird silver pick that really didn't do much, and Imp just went off that game. So it was a good carry by Imp, and he got MVP, and he deserves it. So anyways, as we're going to start into this fight, right now Samsung White started the Dragon, and they're trying to get it to catch back up into this game because Samsung White is losing out on global gold and objectives. So Looper and Dandy right now are trying to secure this dragon while Samsung Blue is going to go contest it, and the fight's going to start with the hook by Heart onto Dandy, and it's going to be a really nice hook because that means Dandy's not really doing much, even though his the Rengar character doesn't do much anyways in team fights when you're not next to a bush, because Rengar has no method of jumping onto the enemy carries outside of his ultimate, but you can't start a team fight that's already started and just ult mid-fight because people are going to know where you are and they'll just drop pings, and they have a ping over here. So if Dandy does decide to ult, Samsung Blue can easily just walk backwards and have the pink vision for if Dandy jumps. So we go, and there you go. The hook lands onto Dandy, and Spirit's going to go in and get an ult onto a full health Pawn and to a pretty high health Dandy. So that means it's going to be the maximum Evelyn ult damage, but it's also going to give her a pretty decent shield. Over here at the top, you're going to have Acorn, you're going to have Deft come in. He had just finished shoving mid lane, and he killed a few creeps just to get the slow push on and to deny a wave. So the Samsung White is losing a lot for this dragon right now. And Deft is going to come in at the top and start shooting rockets at Pawn, shooting rockets over here. And Mana's going to go over here and cause some disruption. He's going to get a knock-up on only the tanks. So as the fight rolls, Acorn goes in onto Dandy. Def gets some harass on. Spirit's taking the bombs from Pawn. So Pawn right now is out of the fight. His cooldown, his ult's about to be burned onto Dandy. Dandy right now is out of the fight. He's trying to get the dragon and people are killing him. And he's going to be rezzing for a few seconds. Mata is about to burn all his cooldowns except for his exhaust. So Alistair's out of the fight, all his pure. And Mundo doesn't really do much if he's not on the front lines taking the damage from all the carries. So Deft and Dade aren't doing any damage anyways right now, so Mundo's purpose is not even fulfilled, and he doesn't even have his ult going on, so he's half HP and he's pretty chunked in. If he were to ult right now, he would be brought to below half health, and there's a few ignites on Samsung Blue's side, so Mundo is pretty screwed right now as well. So there you go. Mata gets a pulverize over here. It's just going to be onto the tanks, and it's going to prevent them from going onto Pawn and Imp for a little while, but it doesn't really matter. Spirit has a bomb on him. Dandy's going to get res. Mana's going to end up going and knocking Deft into the wall, but it doesn't really matter anyways because Deft is going to Valk forward and also flash for Pawn when he tries to go over this way. And Pawn and Deft are going to not really duel. Pawn's just pretty much going to take it from Deft while Deft is putting pure DPS into him. And this also goes to why some of the Asian carries in like Korea and China don't really get Last Whisper as a second or third item that you see in like the Western scene, because these guys are so good at teamfight positioning that they can get their DPS onto the squishy characters. So there, Mata uses his headbutt over here. Heart does a little flay to kind of peel for peel Looper. Dade flashes forward, and now he goes in, and he's right now in range from Imp. He's going to go over here, get a crit on Imp. Deft is still doing DPS, so Mata, he's not doing anything. He's out of the fight. Dandy's out of the fight. He's getting res right now. Pawn has no ultimate. He uses both his bombs. He's out of the fight. So this fight is basically a 1-on-5, with Imp trying to deal as much damage as possible, with 3 people looking to kill him. But a Kog'Maw is not going to really be able to do that much, and even then Imp has to back so far from this fight. He's going to end up flashing over here, and the fight's going to be dragged from the Dragon Pit all the way down to the bot lane. So Spirit dies. Deft Valks forward onto Pawn because he knows Pawn has no cooldown. So Pawn, I think, is going to get a bomb onto Deft, but Deft is going to kill Pawn and end up flashing over to kill him over here. Looper now just uses his ult, and Heart right now is as a support, because of this box, like Mata, Looper, and Dandy, even though they had no cooldowns, they're not doing anything in this fight. They're not stopping Acorn, and they're not stopping Dade from going on to Imp to kill him, and they're not stopping and they're not killing Deft at all, and Spirit's gonna die. So the carries from Samsung White end up doing nothing, and the tank line for Samsung White also ends up doing nothing during this whole fight, and Mana ends up burning his exhaust on Acorn, which really isn't ideal because the exhaust should have ideally gone on Dade or to Deft, and it maybe would have saved Pawn or Imp from dying so fast. So as the fight progresses, they dive super hard onto Imp, and Imp has the ult onto him, so at this HP, Imp is gonna die. There's no peel, there's no Zillion ult, there's no heal, nothing's gonna save him. So Dada's gonna get the kill on Imp. Pawn right now is looking to flash over, and Dandy, he Rengar ults just to try to close the gap, and it doesn't really do much because it's not like a pick or surprise. And Heart right now is just screwing up Mata, Looper, and Dandy, and Mana's gonna end up going over here and burning his cooldowns once again. So like this fight, it goes over the course of like 20 seconds, and it takes a full 10-15 seconds for Mana's cooldowns to come back up again to be a useful character in team fights. So bam, Imp dies, Pawn flashes over the wall, he dies, he gets a bomb on Deft, and right now it's just a fight closing out. Dandy ults to kind of try to save Imp, but he ends up just dying to Dada AoE. Deft is just putting out DPS. He had a bomb on him, which is not going to kill him. Mata burned his cooldown, so right now he's just a cow who's going to auto people. He doesn't even have his ult for the extra AD. He's just doing nothing right now, and Looper's going to end up running and flashing over to the side into the bot lane, and after this, Samsung Blue is going to go straight up, get Baron, and pretty much this fight is the one that tips the game over to Samsung Blue's favor because of the Baron call. And at Baron, they don't throw like they did for the previous games. So anyways, thanks for watching.